Sai Ram, everyone. Just to recollect what we were discussing last week, I think it maybe have been a slightly tangential discussion, but we were discussing about how do we let go, what is duty and so on. What is worldly duty and what we owe as dharma. So some of those concepts we explored. I think we'll continue from where we left off, rather than digress further. Sai
Ram. Much can be said of Sarnagati. Man surrenders his dignity and status to other men for various purposes in life: wealth, fame, possessions, pomp, power, etc. But rarely does he get the chance to surrender to the Lord for the sake of the Lord. How can he get the urge so long as he craves for the Adeya, entire creation based on the five elements, and not the Adhara, the universal pure existence? He longs for the object, but does not long for the base on which the object rests. How long can a baseless object satisfy? He wants the gift, not the giver, the created, not the creator, things from the hand, but not the hand. He is running after a non-existent thing. Can there be an object without pre-existent cause? No, if there is one, it can only be the uncaused God. It is therefore sheer ignorance to surrender individuality for the sake of the transitory products of action, the cause rather than the cause. Surrender rather to the basis, the cause and the origin of all the Sarveshvara, that is genuine Saranagati, surrender.
Yeah, thank you very much, sister. I think we discussed this last week also. There's one sentence which sort of caught my attention. Man is running after non-existent thing. That's what Swami said. I think I don't know whether the translation is very accurate. I will ask Mani Aunty to say what exactly Swami has written in Telugu, just so that.
Yeah. What exactly you want? Non-existent thing.
Yes, Aunty. He's talking about after the Adhara. Swami is telling how long can a baseless object?
Yeah. అసలు ఆధారము లేని అధేయం ఎక్కటి నుండి ఉన్నదా? అట్లున్నదని అందరూ అది కేవలము పరమాత్మ తప్ప మరేది కాదు. లేక కనుక సర్వాధారుడైన సర్వేశ్వరుని ఆశ్రయించుటే నిజమైన శరణాగతి. ఇదిలే ఉన్ను he does not pray.
కానీ
ఆధేయములైన అనిత్య పదార్థములను.
I think anitya is they have said non-existent.
Non-existent, yeah, correct.
So
ఆధేయములైన అనిత్య పదార్థములను శరణు చొచ్చుట అజ్ఞానము.
I think Swami has used the word impermanent. Transitory, not impermanent or transitory. That's the word which Swami has used, but they have said non-existent. So I thought I will just clarify that. Anyone would like to share anything and discuss?
So, Sairam brother, so Swami is saying any object, whatever you seeing, is subject to decay. So, what is the permanent? Even this life, next life, the Lord is going to be the permanent. Other than that, everything is going to destroy over one day. So, believe on the permanent one. Thank you, Sairam.
Sairam, brother. Anyone else would like to say anything? If not, we will go to the next paragraph. I think this way we talked about surrender. I think we have discussed enough about the surrender piece. I think for now we'll leave and move on. Sairam.
There are three types of Saranagati: Tavaivadam, I am thine, mamaiva tvam, you are mine, and twavam aham,
Twameva aham.
tumeva aham, thou art I. The first affirms, I am yours. The second asserts, you are mine, and the third declares, you and I are one, the same. Each is just a step in the rising series, and the last is the highest step of all. In the first stage, Tvamevaham, the Lord is fully free, and the devotee is fully bound. It is like the cat and the kitten. The cat shifts the kitten about it as it wills. The kitten just mews and accepts whatever happens. This attitude is very gentle and is within easy reach of all. In the second, Mamevatvam, the devotee binds the Lord, who is to that extent unfree. Surdas is a good example of this attitude. Krishna, you may escape from my hold, from the clasp of these arms, but you cannot escape from my heart, where I have bound thee, challenged Surdas. The Lord just smiled and assented. I am bound by my devotees, he asserts, without any loss of self-respect. The devotee can tie up the Lord with his prema, love, by bhakti, devotion, and overwhelms and overpowers his egoism. When man is full of this type of bhakti, the Lord will himself bless him with everything he needs. His grace will fulfill all his wants. Remind yourself here of the promise made by the Lord in the Gita. Yoga Shemam Vahameham. I carry the burden of his welfare.
Thank you very much, sister. So Swami is introducing the three types of surrender. Tava Evaham or Tava Evaham, Mama Evatvam, Mama Evatvam, Tvam Eva Aham. Three, Swami has explained, I think he has explained the meanings also. I think in the second paragraph, it is incorrect. It says Tvam Eva Aham. It should be Tava Eva Aham. Okay, so that's the first stage, Swami says. That means yours am I. Yours alone am I. Okay. So because we belong to the Lord, Swami says the Lord is fully free. We are the ones who are bound by the Lord. So it's like the cat which mews and waits for the mother cat to come and pick it up and take. And the second one is we have to hold on to the Lord because we say, the Lord, you are ours. Swami usually tells that's like a monkey. The small monkey has to hold on to the mother so tight. It's the duty, the obligation is on the baby. If the baby lets go, the baby falls. But that's also a surrender, I think Swami says. And of course, Swami has explained Surdas as the example of that. So I will stop here. I will open it up for any discussion or questions, Saira.
Brother Sairam, can you tell that Sodas is a good example? What is that story, please?
Okay. So it so happened Surdas was I don't know if anyone else want to tell the story. I will let others. Auntie, do you want to tell the story or?
No, you go ahead. No, you go ahead, please.
Okay.
Actually,
So Surdas was a blind devotee, and he wanted to, he always used to sing to Krishna, and it so happened that once he started going towards Brindavan, apparently, and he would sing, and there were people around him, and there was especially one kid who came and who was holding him by the hand and taking him. And every day that kid will ask and he will sing. And one day he got a doubt, who is this little boy? And apparently, that's all, there are a couple of versions of stories, but he's supposed to have suspected that it was Krishna himself.
Yeah.
So he was holding Krishna tight. He said, "You are Krishna, aren't you? And I'll hold you tight." And then what Krishna did was he wriggled and left. And after that, he couldn't find that boy. He was blind. So he was really pained. And apparently, he even fell into a well because he was so blind. But he was not. He said, "Krishna, you may have you think that you have deserted me, but you can't desert me because you can't leave my heart. Physically, you may leave me, but you just can't leave my heart." And Krishna didn't have much of a choice but come back to help him. So that's the story of Surdas, because he bound him in his heart so much. He was so confident that thought of Krishna will not leave his mind. In his heart, he has him tightly grasped. So that's the story of
Thank you
Surdas,
very
as
much.
I know.
Thank you. Thank
Swami has told the story in these courses, if anyone's interested.
Sai Ram,
Yes, Auntie.
I want to read out those three types of Saranagati.
Yes, Auntie.
Tavaivaham, Mamaivatvam. The third one is Tvamevaham. Tvamevaham. Tavaivaham, Mamaivatvam, Tvamevaham. Iti Trita. Anaga mother. First one is Nenu Nivadu. I am yours. So the whole thing is completely, the bhakta depends on God. So that Swami just this thing compares it to the Marjala Nyayam, what we call is Marjala Kishora Nyayam. That means the kitten, when it is born, it's not able to move, but the mother cat always carries it in the mouth. That means completely the kitten is dependent on the mother. Sorry. So that is called Marjala Kishora Nyayam. The second one, what Arun was saying was Markata Kishora Nyayam. Here, what happens, the baby monkey holds on to the mother cat, mother monkey. The whole its safety depends on itself. That means if it holds on, then it's fine. If it leaves the grip, then it falls. So that's called Markata Kishora Nyayam. That's how they call. And here, what Swami first saying is Tavaivaham. Paramatma is Sarva Satantra. Paramatma is Sarva Satantruni Ganu, Bhaktuni Paratantruni Ganu Bhavinsuno. So Bhakta is dependent on the Lord. First one, Tavaivaham. Second one, Mamaivatvam. You are mine. That's how it is said that. Here in Telugu, what Swami is saying is, Mamaivatvam Bhaktudu Swatantrudu Ganu, Paramatmudu Paratantru Ganu. So actually, God is depending on the Bhakta. So there the Surdas example comes. So how Surdas says, how can you take, you are bound in my heart. You are very much there in the heart. How can you get out of that? Us. Krishna, నీవు నా చేతుల నుండి తప్పించుకొని పోగలిగావని ఏది నా హృదయం నుండి చూస్తాము. How do you get out of my heart? So here what happens is Paramatma is dependent on Bhakta. So he is Bhakta Paradina, what we call. He is sometimes, so much bound by Bhakta's devotion, he can't move from sometimes. That's how in Telugu it is given. Hope I have made it clear. The third one is, of course, then he goes on to the third one afterwards, I think. You and I are one. That says same. The same Atma resides in both of us. That's what he is trying to say.
Thank you very much, Auntie.
There is a small this thing. In Telugu, it is different.
Okay.
The devotee binds the Lord, who is to the extent unfree. That means Lord is not free. Lord is bound by the devotion of the devotee. That's how Surdas' his example is given. I hope I have made it clear.
Yes, Auntie. Yes.
Yeah.
Anyone would like to say anything?
So, Sairam brother, so according to these three surrender, which one is a good one? I think my opinion is the first one, because you don't need to do anything. You not to like the baby monkey, hold on to that mother. The first one, it doesn't move at all. It's just do whatever you want.
Yeah.
So what is the opinion about these three surrenders?
Of course, first one is very easy because we don't have to do anything. God will take care of. But there are some, our responsibility is also there. Not like the helpless kitten. Kitten is helpless, but we have got lots of things to do.
But auntie, the kitten give up everything, and it depend on that mother. The mother take the kitten to the
In the
safe place.
it
Am I right?
takes it in the mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it doesn't move or anything. It doesn't care anything what is happening. Is fully surrendered.
Yeah. That's
But
total surrender.
but the monkey, the baby monkey, is scared. Is always hold on to that mother.
Mother.
It's not fully surrender. Yeah.
But that it doesn't come here. Just I expressed Marjala Nyayam, Markata Nyayam. There are two Sharanagatis,
Okay.
which, yeah,
Thank
that's
you,
it.
auntie.
Sairam, I look at these three things when I originally look at, I thought, what is the real difference between these three statements? Then when I look at, I found that first one is the affirmation, second one is the assertion, and the third one is the declaration. So it's a different stages or something. And also in my, the own understanding, I thought when someone say I am yours, that person may have many, the children or many properties. They may say, you are one of mine. That means that for the other person, I am not that important. I am one of the many things. But for me, that person is a big one, to hold on. The second one, in my mind, I thought, you are mine. When I say you are mine, I can have several things. You also are one of mine, even property, so many other things. In that second, the assertion, that means that bhakta or the devotee have the more power kind of, it doesn't matter, you belong to the other people or not, but you are mine, some sort of authoritative. That's why even in that Surdas, the story, Surdas asserts without any loss of self-respect to Lord Krishna, you are mine, but also I understand that you wouldn't lose any loss of your self-respect. And the third one, of course, you and I are the one. That is the very last stage, that we haven't discussed yet. I thought when I look at these three things, even Swami nicely, I really wondered and surprised. The first one is really the affirmation, second one assertion, and the third one is the declaration. After all of these things, I will declare you and me are the same, some sort of very higher level stage. Otherwise, you cannot declare something like that. I thought that I don't really understand originally what is that I am thine, thou art mine, and thou art I. I originally thought, these three seems to be same. Why they have, it has been a really big deal. But when I look at Auntie Manibasham also explained and everything, afterwards when I looked at, it's really three different stages, and it needs how you are the affirmation, assertion, and the declaration. That sort of stages nicely explained by Swami. You know, the very, very well. You know, I really like that statement. Thank you, Sairam.
Thank you very much, sister. Anyone else would like to share any thoughts?
No, please.
Brother, I'm
Yes,
just.
sister. Okay, go ahead, sister.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, no, Anita, go ahead, please. Thank you, Sairam.
No, it's okay, Sairam. I think Auntie Mani, maybe is it on the same wavelength as it says in that mantra, Tumiva Mata, Tumi Pita, Tumiva Bandhu, Sakha Tumiyo.
That is
Because
total.
right? Because if we
But-
surrender totally and God is everything and we surrender, then He has to look after us. There's no other choice for Him. Is it? Right.
The first one, I am thine, is total surrender. Then, you know, that is affirmation. Swami, you have to take care of me. I am yours. I'm always yours. Then the second one, you are mine. There, you know, you're asserting your power over Swami. Swami, make him Bhakta Paradina. By your devotion, you are binding him.
Accountable, yeah.
Yeah. You are there to take care of me, and you are mine. And the third one, and I and you are, there's no difference between you and me. That is, we sing, you know, that I and you are one, Shirdi Sai. That's that bhajan.
Right. Thank you for explaining it. Sorry, Aruna.
No worries, Kanika.
Thank you.
I just wanted to say that because these are three types of Saranagati, but it is the step rising. It's a step. First, you have to feel it, right? That I am yours.
Yours.
Then second is you are mine. Then this is the steps.
Yes.
It's not like a type and you first one or second one or third. No. First one, when you come to that level, then you will rise to the second level and third. That's the way I am reading here. Thank you, Saira.
Yes, exactly.
Anyone else would like to share any thoughts, please?
One small incident which I would like to say here. It seems once Swami was expressing the feeling, you know, when devotees were singing, he was listening to it and then says, I don't know whether I am God or they are God. I am devotee and they are God. I sometimes feel like that. He expressed it to Bhagavantam, it seems. So, Bhakta Paradina, he always is bound by Bhaktas, devotees, just like Surdas. But we have to reach that stage, that kind of bhakti which we'll have. Only then we can bind God with our prema. The devotee can tie up the Lord with his prema. Sairam.
Sairam. Anyone else?
Sairam, I just having difficulty understanding how the second stage is better than the first stage. Because it seems like Swami is saying that is the higher stage. But it seems like in the first stage, the devotee has no like attachment or expectation or anything. They just accept whatever happens. But the second stage, there it seems to be, I mean, yeah, I would like some clarification on that.
Very good question. Very good question, Kalyani. Anyone would like to venture to answer Kalyani's question?
Brother, I think when you start with I itself, it comes to the second stage, first stage. So when you say I, then when you have to move on to the others, we and you, like others. And when Swami is yours only, you are mine, that is too bit. I am Deen, I'm just thinking. So I am Deen is a, I am, yes.
No. I am thine, first
Yes.
one.
Yes. The
Second one is you are mine.
Yeah, you are mine, then that is kind of like we are really holding on to the God. The
Yeah.
other one is kind of we are
Surrendering ourselves to God.
surrendering, like a thing. That's the way I look at it. Thank you.
Isn't surrendering more higher than possessing? Possessing is like you are holding on to it, as in, so you haven't let go of yourself as an I, right? Because I understand where Kalyani is coming from. When you're surrendering is you're letting loose. So shouldn't the first one be the highest? Right?
Sairam, I thought my logical thinking is this. First one, when I say I am yours, my effort is not that, in that story, the cat and the kittens, because by birth, when we are very infant stage, we are innocence, without having any effort, we expect our parents or mother will be looking after that. There is no effort. But the second one, the monkey, the baby monkey, there are some efforts, the baby monkey has to put put her the leg or something very griply to without falling down. So there are some efforts, in there. The third stage, when you say you and I are the one, you have to first prove it. How you can say you and I are the one? Whatever the you are in the level and the my level are same. Before you declare that statement, you have to prove that, with so many sadhanas and everything. That's why it has been paved like that, stage by stage. Your effort and sincerity and the surrender, it goes in that level. Simply we cannot say, for the sake of saying I can tell, Sister Narmada, you and me are the same. But that doesn't mean that, me and you are the same. Before that, I have to prove that in each level, you and me are the same. So in order to declare that, I have to make sure every single thing I am doing, that is unity, that is the same. Not only myself, others also should recognize that, and they have to accept that statement too. That's why the effort, it goes in that level, step by step. That's why my thinking that Swami declared that unity, that is the highest level. Thank you, loving Saira.
Sairam, and it is very beautifully, Sister Anandi explained that it is true. The first one is very innocent step, like you are totally depending on your mother, like a kid is just was born, doesn't know anything, can't open their eyes. The second one, you have to do your duty to have a God. The last one, because of your doing the same, you merge into God. That is the final, like on the high process of that one. Even if they are saying the monkey holding the mother, the monkey jumping from branch to branch, but like if the monkey lose it, the mother wouldn't look after the monkey. So that's how it is. The second part is very tough. Like you have to do your own to be a God. And that's the third one, is you merge into God. That's how I look at it, Sairam. Thank you.
Thank you very much, brother. I think that Dasan, you wanted to say something,
Yeah,
brother?
the Sairam brother, even if you go to Puttaparthi, Baba shake his hand like this, why you worry, I'm here. So why do you want to take the burden on your shoulder? Leave it with me. I will take care of everything. Thank you, Sairam.
Sairam, brother. Anyone else? So Kalyani, are you satisfied?
I guess in the example of the kitten and the monkey, yes, that makes sense that the monkey you have to make some effort. But here where Swami's saying the cat shifts the kitten about and the kitten mews and accepts whatever happens, I thought that was kind of the, definition.
Surrender.
Yeah, so surrender. And that does take effort, I think, on our part to accept whatever happens.
So, okay, so I think I will attempt. See, first of all, we should understand all these three, Swami calls them surrender. Okay, surrender means whatever happens, there should be some acceptance, if nothing else, In the first case, we say Tavaivaham. That means we are some outsider, but God, has considered us His. We don't have a sense of ownership, if you want to use the word ownership. So you feel whatever he does, I have to accept, which is the way, people resign to our fate, type of resign to our karma, and we think that is surrender. But that is a sense where we still don't have full confidence that the Lord will do everything for us. So we think we are dependent on you. You are our mother. You are our father. We hope you take care of us. Actually, it is not even that state. It is a state where we think I belong to you. You take care of me. Okay, it's a surrender. But in the second one, still it is surrender. But we think anyway, Lord is ours. So whatever He does, I will accept. So it is surrender still. It's not that, I have and actually from Surda's explanation, we can see Surdas is saying physically he has lost Krishna. Physically Krishna is not there, but he doesn't even care about that. Where actually he holds God tight is only in his heart. So what Swami says is, at that level, you are not even worried about anything in the physical world. This body, whatever it goes through, no problem. Now I am only focused on my heart. So only in the heart, actually, the God becomes yours. Until God is installed in the heart and you hold him tight, God is actually outside. You are searching for him outside. But you hope, I belong to you, please take care of me. But once you take God in your heart, you are not worried about any physical discomfort, problems, anything in this world. That is also surrender. Okay. But then the last one is, I and you are one means, that is also surrender, because whatever happens, you don't even blame God for it. You blame because we'll say, because God is, you're not even dependent on him to do anything. Because whatever he does, you are doing. Whatever you do, he is doing. It is at that point also you will accept everything in life. So I think first of all, we should understand it is all surrender. It is not, these are not thoughts which arises in the mind. See, ultimately, we are trying to analyze it with the mind, which only talks about possessiveness. The second one is not necessarily possessiveness. It is a conviction that the Lord is in my heart. Okay, and he can never leave me, which is the fact for everyone, I think. But in this case, you come to that realization. So in the first one, you lose that your body. The second one, you have internal world, sukshma. And the third one, even that goes. So you are not even worried about that sphere also, is my understanding. So that is why it is greater. Okay. In the first one, there's body consciousness. In the second one, only mind consciousness. And the third one, even that's not there. And Swami calls that. That's why it is supposed to be better.
Atma connection. That's
Atma
the connection.
connection.
But here in Telugu, with this thing, when Surdas says, how can you go away from my heart? Swami Paramatma, ఆ మాటలకు పరమాత్మ బిడ్డ నేను భక్త పరతంత్రుణ్ణి. I am paratantra, bhakta paratantra. అని ఆత్మగౌరవంగా అంగీకరించను. I am bound by devotees. That's it's written there. And the Lord just smiled and assented. So, I mean, in our many times we sing this, Bhakta Paradina. He's bound by the devotion of the devotees, but that kind of devotion where, complete Swami feels that, yes, I'm theirs. Until then, that bhakti should go. The devotion goes there.
So that's one student in one of the talks had made a statement. Sanjay Sahni was the person who made the statement. He said there's one weakness of God is man's strength.
Man's strength.
Devotion is man's strength and God's weakness.
God's weakness. Exactly. That's how we can put it.
So it's like that. Because God becomes weak when there is so much devotion. So that's what Auntie Paradi Nodu, Bhakta Paradi Nodu is.
Bhakta Paradina.
So that is the reason, brother, we can take the goat and put in the heart and lock him. He cannot come out. He's going to be inside.
If we can get him into the heart.
Yes, exactly.
We can get him to the heart. But our heart is full of egoism. We have got so many other things in our heart, not allowing Bhagawan to come into that place.
Sairam,
Yes, brother Yoga.
lock the key and throw the key out after that.
Pardon me?
The key is mind.
That's throw the key outside. Don't keep it with you.
Thank you. If everyone is fine, shall we move on to the next?
Now that Yoga Kshemam Vahamyaham,
Okay, Auntie.
we have not discussed about that.
Yes, Auntie. Please.
You go ahead. Go ahead.
So it's a promise Krishna had given. Ananyas chintayanto mam ye jana paripasate tesham nityabhyuktanam yoga kshemam vahamyaham. This is what Krishna has said. Ananyas chintayanto mam means one who does not have any other thought. If without any other thought, if he thinks of me, which is Ananya Bhakti, ye jana paripasate tesham, there nitya abhyuktanam yoga kshemam vahamyam. I will take care of everything, all their needs, daily needs or whatever they need, and also their yoga kshemam. I will take care of. I think maybe Swami is explaining what the yoga kshemam is in here later on. I guess
I don't know.
I think Swami is explaining it somewhere in Geetha Vahini, so I will not attempt that here.
Okay, then I think.
But Swami is a promise. Swami says, remember, once you think of the Lord without any other thought, He will take care of all your welfare. Swami is telling what is the yoga, what is kshemam, and vahami aham. Aham means he, that he's telling I, that Krishna is telling. Vahami, look after. Yoga and kshema.
Kshema.
Maybe I will just explain, just mention it briefly. May not.
Yeah,
Swami says many people think yoga kshema means any worldly thing. Swami says no. That yoga means union with God. And kshemam, and the sustenance of that state will be looked after by God. So when you think of Him all the time, He will make sure that you are united with Him, and the sustenance, that you will never lose it. And that's what Swami has said. But many people think God will give us money, food, everything, no problem. Again, we are back to square one. We are in the body level. But this is at the Atmic level, I think Swami is saying. But I think further Swami will explain. Auntie, you want to add anything?
Brother, so when you say about Atmic level welfare, what does that really means?
You know that you are the Atman. You are not the body, you are not the mind.
Yeah.
So then that's it.
So what is there to look after then? We are one.
Atma only wants one. It wants to be united with the Paramatman.
Yeah.
That's all.
Then
Nothing to
there's
do
no
with the
question
world.
about welfare then.
They've just translated it, okay?
Yeah.
They've translated. Auntie, what does it say in Telugu, Auntie?
యోగక్షేమ వహం అని ప్రతిజ్ఞ చేసిన ప్రభు వాక్యమును నిరూపించినాడు. దట్ ఇస్ ద థర్డ్ టైప్ ఆఫ్ సరెండర్. ఇక మూడవైన త్వమేవాహం అనేది నీవు నేనే నేను అని అవిభక్తమైన భక్తి. ఇందులో సర్వము
we have not read yet, Auntie.
Yeah, that's not it. Yeah. Okay then. Pratigna, he has taken a vow that he will take care of everything.
See, that's why Swami is telling, when man is full of this type of bhakti, the Lord will himself bless him with everything he needs. His grace will fulfill all his wants. Auntie, what is, can you read that portion?
ఆనాడు పరమాత్ముడు భక్తుని మంచి చెడ్డలు పూర్తిగా తనవిగానే భావించును. He will మంచి చెడ్డ, that means good and bad. Good and bad. He takes care of it. తనవిగానే భావించును, అనుగ్రహించును. ఇక్కడ గీతలో చెప్పిన యోగక్షేమ వహమ్యం అని ప్రతిజ్ఞ చేసిన ప్రభువాక్యము నిరూపించినాడు. That's all it says.
That's all. He will take care of all the good and bad. It's
good and bad.
That means he will deliver us good and bad both, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
He will make sure we get it.
Yeah.
That's instead of where it says his grace will fulfill all his wants, it doesn't say that. It says he will take care of the good and bad.
Yes, that's why I wanted that to clarify. Yes. Because sometimes we think, oh, that's all good, let's do it.
Good and bad, both.
Like it will, what was the whole sentence? Take care of the good and bad, or?
Anadu Paramatmudu Bhaktudu Anti Manchi Chettalu
పూర్తిగా తనవిగానే భావించడం. He thinks as is his own. Whatever good and bad of the bhakta, he thinks it's his own. తనవిగానే భావించును, then he అనుగ్రహించును. He blesses later on.
So whatever you are suffering from, God will treat it as his own suffering.
His own suffering.
If you are happy, he will think, it's my own happiness.
Happy.
So that's what Swami has said. He has not talked about wants and needs. Okay. It's not a bleak promise. It doesn't sound very positive, is it? Okay. We will go on to the next.
Go to the next one, yeah.
Next, about the third stage, Tvamevaham. Iti
Tridha.
This is the Avibhakta Bhakti, the inseparable devotion. The devotee offers all to the Lord, including himself, for he feels that he cannot withhold himself. That completes his surrender. The Tvameva Aham feeling is the Advaitic, non-dualistic Saranagati, surrender, based on the realization that all this idam is Vasudeva and nothing less, nothing else. So long as the consciousness of the Deha or body persists, the Bhakta, devotee, is the servant and the Lord is the master. So long as individual feels that he is separate from other individuals, the Bhakta is a part of the Lord is the whole. When he progresses to the state, when he gets beyond the limits of the body as well as of I and mine, then there's no more distinction. Bhakta and Bhagawan are the same. In the Ramayana, Hanuman achieved this third stage through bhakti, devotion.
Thank you very much, sister. So I think Swami is going on to say, when we say I and you are one, Swami says that we should not feel we are different from anyone else in this world. Okay, that's very clearly Swami. So that's why it's considered very high, because we need to get to that point. That's the third stage, where we are completely inseparable. Avibhakta bhakti, Swami says. Without any vibhakti means some distinction, separation, distinctive existence. Avibhakta means without any distinction, inseparable. Bhakti, Swami says. So long as the consciousness of the Deha body persists, the Bhakta is a servant of the Lord. That means again we are back to square one.
Yes.
Okay, so Swami clearly explains what it is.
Yes.
So I will stop here. Others can share their thoughts.
This sentence, sorry. This sentence, so long as the individual feels that he is separate from other individuals, the Bhakta is a part and the Lord is a whole. The individual feels that he is separate from other individuals.
Yes, Auntie. Because you are still in the mental sphere. See, let's say the first one, there's body consciousness.
Body consciousness.
The second one, there is mind consciousness. We still identify with our mind. That is why we think we are separate from other individuals.
Jiva
Yes.
conscious.
Yes. But Swami says, as long as we have that, we are in the second stage only.
Okay.
And when you pass that stage also, then only you can say I and you are one.
Dvaita, Vishishta Dvaita and Advaita, all the three are coming here. So long as the body consciousness is there, the Bhakta feels that he is a servant and the Lord is the master. And from Jiva point of view, he feels that I am part of that Lord. That is Vishishta Dvaita. Yes. And then when the third stage, when he reaches, he forgets about his body consciousness, his mind, and then he completely merges with the Lord. That is Dvaita, Advaita. Hanuman represent, when Hanuman was asked this question, who are you? He says this.
Yeah, you can tell that, I don't know, you remember the shloka, Auntie?
The shloka I don't remember.
Okay, but you can explain.
But explain. When Hanuman was asked, who are you? Then he says, from body consciousness, when Deha Bhimanam, that is when I am feeling that I am this body, I feel Rama is my Lord and I am his devotee. The second type of this thing when he says is Jiva Bhimanam. So when he feels that he is only a Jiva and I am, but then he becomes an Amsha or a part of the Lord. And Bhagavanta is full and I am his part. That is called Vishishta Advaita. In the philosophy, it is the basics of Vishishta Advaita is that. And then when he completely overcomes his all his mind, body, everything. When he unites with the Lord at the Atmic level or the soul, when from the point of Atma, then he becomes one with the Lord. That is Advaita. Hanumanta answers this question like that. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, Auntie.
No problem, no problem.
So that is nice, brother. I and mine, the first two things, I am yours, now you are mine. So those two are body conscious. And only the third one comes to a point where
complete
surrender. Yes. Thank you, Saira.
But in the second stage, he has got a little body consciousness because he knows
separate mind.
From the mind, he says.
Yeah, it's only has I am the Jiva.
I'm Jiva.
And what does that word mean in the first sentence? The word says iti trida.
Iti means this.
Yes.
Trida means the third one.
Oh, third, okay.
Okay.
Three dha.
Tridha.
Three means third. Three dha means third one. You can third stage. You can say. So actually we can see this explanation of Hanuman, when you have become part of God, God can't do anything with you. He's stuck with you, It belongs. So that's the reality, So it's not that we are holding and he can't escape. The thing is, because he cannot separate yourself because you have become part of him. So he's stuck. That sort of feeling. Okay, if there is no other thought, we can move on.
Yeah.
The same subject is mentioned in the 7th shloka of the 2nd chapter of the Gita. The word prapana,
Prapanna.
prapana, one who has surrendered to God. Used there indicates that Arjuna has the qualification, the discipline of bhakti. Moreover, Arjuna had analyzed his own thoughts and recognized them as such. Again, he had awakened the form tamas, dullness. Krishna appreciated this the moment it happened. He said, "You are called Budakesha, for you are Jita Nidra." Nidra or sleep is the characteristic of tamas. How then can this tamas overwhelm you now? It is just a temporary phase. It can never bind you fast. If Arjuna has by his efforts won control over his senses and earned the name Gudakesha, Krishna as Hrishikesha is the presiding deity of all the senses. On the field of Kurukshetra, both are in the same chariot, one as learner and the other as teacher.
Thank you very much, sister. It's very nicely Swami has. So few. I think prapanna. One who has prapatti is prapanna. Prapatti is the full surrender, which is mentioned in this shloka in the Gita. One who has achieved that person is called prapanna. So Arjuna is using the word, prapatti. He's identifying himself as surrendered. And then Krishna calls him Gudakesha. So he's the one who is overcome sleep. And Hrishikesha is one who is the Lord of the senses. So Swami says both of them are present in the same chariot. So in that sense, the Jivatma and the Paramatma are both residing in the one chariot called our body. And if we reach that stage of overcoming tamas and become Gudakesha, the Hrishikesha within us will help us. That's also, I thought, this field of Kurukshetra is nothing but this world. So those are some thoughts. I will just stop here. I will open it up for discussion. Saira.
So, Sairam brother, that means once we surrender our self, intellect, mind, and five senses, ego, the Paramatma is going to help us. That's a full surrender, maybe? Yeah. Thank you.
Sairam brother.
What is the equivalent word of Jijudi Gudakesa, the master of the senses, master of the senses? So first time I hear about this Kudakesa. That's why I'm wondering whether this is the Sanskrit name or the Rishikesha. That's the one we different the tax, and we have they use that name. But Kudakesa, this is the first time I am hearing about that. Yeah.
So Gudaka, so go ahead.
No, Arun, go ahead.
So the word Gudaka means sleep. Isha means the Lord. Okay, Gudaka means sleep. Isha is Lord. The second word is Krishika, and Isha means Lord. So one who is the master. Isha means you can use the word master also. The first one is master of sleep. Okay, the second one is master of the senses. So Arjuna became the master of the sleep, which is he mastered tamas at that point. And Krishna, he was always the lord of senses. Krishika, Isha. Krishika is senses. Isha is the master or lord. So when Swami says, when both of them are in the same chariot, no problem in the Kurukshetra field. So first of all, we have to install the Krishika Isha in our heart. The Lord has to be installed in our heart, and then we overcome tamas, which is identification with the body, and then the Lord is all set to help us. That's what it is, sister. And it's, of course, this is not a very common name, I think, word, especially in Tamil. I don't think you may have come across. Even Hrishikesha, people, make it Rishikesh, and Rishikesh, all that,
Sanskrit word, Rishikesh.
Hrishika Isha.
I also thought maybe the Lord is in everywhere, in every living being in this universe, but in the Arjuna side, maybe the Lord part at that particular moment, it was sleeping, in Krishna's side, maybe it was active and awakening stage, that also I thought easy to remember to me. What is sleep, Lord? What is the awakening, because one is Sishya and one is Guru, maybe Sishya is in the sleeping mode, maybe the Guru is in the active, maybe the teaching or the awakening mode.
Gudakesha is one of the names of Arjuna. He has got several names. One of them is Gudakesha. Sabyasachi, Kiriti, and his name, another name is also Krishna, also his name. So Gudakesha is one name. Here what Swami is saying is Arjuna realized his own faults. And recognized them as such. That is why he is awakened from that dullness, that sleep. All the while he was sleeping, in the sense he was identifying himself with the body, and then thinking that Bhishma, Drona, and others, Kripacharya, other respected elders were all his. Now he has got up from that sleep saying that no, they are only bodies. That Atma is residing in everyone. So, and he recognizes his own fault. That's why he is fit for Upadesha. He is fit for now for Krishna's advice. That's why he is called here Gudakesha.
Yeah, that's why even otherwise Swami wouldn't have the master of the sense, means that Arjuna has already awakened from the sleeping and realized all the faults on him, and now he is getting into the right path. That's why they even put Swami master of the senses, Kudakes. Yeah. Thank you so much, Auntie.
Sai Ram, in addition to Anandi, the deeper meaning to this is that the person who has conquered ignorance, which means Gudakesha, is a person who is in full knowledge that ever-living entity is an Atma. This Atma is an individual, eternal part and parcel of the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, and thus is engaged in the eternal loving devotional service of the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. So Arjuna was also known as Gudakesha. Thus, anyone who is always engaged in the loving devotional service of the Lord, Supreme Lord Sri Krishna is also Gudakesha. This is my addition to Auntie
Yeah, thank you.
Mani Auntie. Sai Ram.
No, Gudaka is sleep, as he said, as Arun said, it is sleep from which he has woken up.
Yes.
Brother, there is the two things, okay? The Buddha Keva they are referring to coming out of the sleep of characteristic of tamas. At the same time, it's a control over the sense, right? Relating both of them. Yeah. So what is the sense he came over? That's mean tamas, that's mean the attachment. And what are the senses he came over with this? What is, I'm trying to understand here. What are the, I know tamas, the sleeping stage to come out is the one, Kudase, Kesha. And it's related back to the senses also. So which senses he came out of it to come out of the tamas quality is the attachment. Or ignorance, everything. So attachment, ignorance, and those two only I can think of it. I don't know anything else. Thank you.
So the five senses, sister, what happened? The five senses are related to the body. Okay, the five senses are related to the body, and because Arjuna, until that time, he was a slave to the senses, because the senses were telling something and he was just listening. Okay, but at one point he realizes what the senses are telling is not the whole truth. Okay, so which is senses can only see bodies, so it cannot see anything else. So then he said, I am not going to listen to the senses. So that is how we overcome tamas, with the senses which are outwardly focused are tamasic. So that's why Swami is drawing the parallel that he has one control over his senses.
And
he's still not master. Yes,
sorry.
so go ahead.
Okay.
Yes, Auntie.
Thank you.
Here, Mohanidra. Swami is saying Mohanidra. నిద్రనే జయించిన వాని ఈ మోహనిద్ర ఏమి చేయగలదు దాని ప్రభావము తాత్కాలికము.
So this is a second, just to explain, Arjuna was very good at doing tapas. He had gone and without sleep he had done penance to even win many of the astras and so on. So that is why he was given the name Gudakesha. So Swami is equating that to this Mohanidra, which is moha, or attachment, which is the attachment. That also Swami is calling it Nidra, which comes through senses. Okay, so I think
Saira, actually Rishikesha is a controller of the senses, that is Krishna, yes. And Gudakesha is a controller of sleep. Is that true? Yes.
One who overcomes sleep.
One who overcomes sleep, yes. Thank you.
So, Sairam brother, here the last sentence, one has learner and the other as a teacher. So Lord Krishna wants to teach the Bhagavad Gita. First, he has to make Arjuna as a student. All this time, he is not thinking that he is a student. He thinking maybe he's my brother-in-law, my friend. He's not come to the level as a student. Now he over his senses and he accepting as a guru and he is becoming a student. Now the time maybe the Lord can teach him the Bhagavad Gita. Thank you, Saira.
Thank you. Auntie, just a clarification.
Yeah.
Sorry, in the Telugu, so is Swami saying Arjuna by his efforts won control over his senses? You know that part, can you?
Yeah, just 1 minute. Which sentence you wanted? Just a temporary.
After
Yes.
that, Prapannam, Anunadi, just if you can read out.
Yeah, yeah.
Antiye Kaka, Athanu, Thanu, Gunamu.
Guru. ఇది అప్పుడు వాడు అధికారం ఇస్తున్న
మేల్కొని వాడగును.
ఓకే 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 1 నిమిషం.
తిని నిద్రించుటే తమోగుణ లక్షణము అని అట్టిదానికి అతీతుడై అంతఃకరణములు యందు జాగ్రత్త వహించిన స్థితిని పొందినవాడు.
ఎప్పుడు మానవుడు తన తప్పును తాను తెలుసుకొనునో అప్పుడు వాడు అధికార స్థానమును పొందన అర్హుడగును. అర్హుడగును. ఇంతే కాక అతను తమో గుణము నుండి మేల్కొనిన వాడగును. తిని నిద్రించుటే తమో గుణ లక్షణం. దట్ ఈస్ ఆఫ్టర్ ఈటింగ్ విల్ స్లీప్. దట్ ఇస్ తమో గుణ.
ఈటింగ్ అండ్ స్లీపింగ్.
యా, ఈటింగ్ అండ్ స్లీపింగ్. కానీ అట్టిదానికి అతీతుడై అంతఃకరణముల యందు జాగ్రత్త వహించిన స్థితిని పొందినవాడు కనుకనే అర్జునుడు తన తప్పును తాను చక్కగా తెలుసుకునవలెను. See, he is not an ordinary person. Arjuna is not an ordinary person like eating and sleeping. His antakarana was always jagrata. It was already
vigilant. He was vigilant.
How can he sleep? తను చక్కగా తెలుసుకొనవలెను. ఈ స్థితిని కృష్ణ పరమాత్మ గ్రహించి చిరునవ్వు నవ్వుతూ, బావా, తమో గుణమునకు ఉపలక్షణమే కదా నిద్ర, కనుక నిద్రనే జయించిన వాణ్ణి ఈ మోహ నిద్ర ఏమి చేయగలదు? వాట్ కెన్ ఇట్ డూ? మోహ నిద్ర. Is it?
Yes, okay. Thank you, Auntie. Thank you. Okay. So Swami is telling that rather than control over sense, Swami said he has overcome the senses through vigilance.
Yeah.
So I thought I would just clarify
Jagrata.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe, okay, shall we move on to the next slide?
Exactly is the cause of all grief. It is the attachment to the body that produces grief, as well as its immediate precursors, affection and hate. These two are the results of the intellect considering some things and conditions as beneficial, and some other things and conditions as not. This is a delusion. This idea of beneficence and malevolence, still you get attached to objects that are considered beneficial, and you start hating the others. But from highest point of view, there is neither. The distinction is just meaningless. There are no two at all. How can there be good and bad then? To see two where there is only one, that is Maya, or ignorance. The ignorance that plunged Arjuna into grief was this nature, seeing many when there is only one. Absence of knowledge of the identity of Tattvam, the word Tattva used to mean principle, enshrines this great philosophical doctrine, is the cause of all ignorance. If this truth is not learned, man has no flounder in the ocean of grief. But if it is learned, and if man lives in that consciousness, then he can be free from grief. Many a prescription is recommended, used, publicized, and repeated parrot-like by all kinds of quacks, but they do not go into the root of the matter. They are balms applied to the eye to cure an ache in the stomach. The disease and the drug have no coordination. The ache must be spotted and diagnosed, and the drug must be such as will remove it. Then alone can it be cured. Narayana is the only medical expert who can do so. He has diagnosed Arjuna's illness correctly and decided on the treatment.
Okay, thank you very much, sister. So I think Swami's packed quite a bit of information here, I think. We can just look at the first paragraph. Now, Swami is telling what is the cause of grief, is what Swami is talking about. Because we think some things are good, something are bad. And he says there's no two. So I don't know if anyone would like to comment on that or discuss that first paragraph.
Swami is telling about raga and dvesha. Liking, dislike, likes and dislikes. I feel Swami is saying that this is the main cause for all our grief. We like some things, we dislike some things. Then what happens? It's hatred, it is love for things which you like, and hating others, hating other things which you don't like. So this is the basic cause for all our grief. Swami is saying, when there are no two, how can there be good and bad? To see where there is only one. That's because of Maya, ignorance, we are looking at these things. The ignorance has plunged Arjuna into grief. All our reactions in this world is only because of these two emotions, raga and dvesha. It depends on our liking and dislike, and then we act according to that. That brings us into this samsara, and then we are plunged in that ignorance. Sairam.
Sairam, where is the mind part comes into play? The very first sentence, it says, what exactly is the cause of all grief? It is attached to the body that produces grief as well as its immediate precursors, likes and dislikes. So here it says it is attachment to the body that produces grief. I thought most of the time, not only the body, mind also, it is attached to the attachment to the mind that produces grief. Rather than body attachment, I thought mind attachment also, it produces so much grief. That's why I'm wondering whether that mind part, it comes at the end, as well as its immediate precursors, likes and dislikes, Swami mentioning the mind attachment, or Swami stresses the point only the attachment to the body, only to the body, not the mind at all, or the mind part, it comes to the end. The likes and dislikes, more of mind thing, either not the body thing.
No, not correct. It is emotions connected to the mind, not the physical body. Physical body is nothing, but it doesn't. Only the illuminating factor inside us is that Paramatma. But the mind plays all the tricks. Mind develops this kind of feeling like affection and hate, raga and dvesha, some things you don't like, some things you like. So it is complete, it's related to the mind only, not to the physical body.
Okay, thank you so much, Auntie. Yeah, that gives me a bit of more understanding of that one. Yeah.
Anyone else would like to share any thoughts, please?
So, Sairam brother, the good example is the dark and the light. If the light comes, dark goes away. So same thing, if your ignorance goes, it won't come back. So the pure knowledge is going to be there. Thank you, Sai Ram.
Thank you very much, brother. Thank you.
Sai Ram, brother.
Yes.
I thought I always listen to everything, be quiet, but recently my friend told me whatever you listen, you have to put it in practice, otherwise everything goes waste. So since it started, always it's coming to my mind is the cost for everything, because the mind runs out of all the senses and all the sheets, 5 koshas. Like even in the morning, I was telling my children what we eat, the physical body level and the like pranaya and all these which I don't practice. How can I jump to the surrender when Swami? I always say, right? Swami say like this morning I was reading and Swami say bhakti and the attitude of surrender, that is the final fruit, will give you great courage to meet any emergency. Such courage is what is called renunciation. So I was thinking I should pray to Swami to give that courage to face any intense difficulties or the sorrows that he throws on us in day-to-day lifestyles which we face. And that time I had to be say, this is good for me, whatever happens, this is good for me. And being practicing that in day-to-day life by controlling my mind and say everything what happens to me is good for me, will it help to surrender that down the road? Instead of going all 3 surrenders, like what do you think on that? Like practicing, like I can't just go to work or go to university and see a person and say, oh, I see Swami in this, right? But somebody told me, just imagine, even I tell my girls, just practice this in the forehead if somebody your boss and all saying things, and imagine Swami is there and whatever that person is belongs to them. And my mother taught me how I look at the person, see only the goodness. When I start to see goodness in my thought, and then before I say, now I say Swami speaks through me. So I know now Swami is listening what I'm saying. So I'm gradually practicing. So instead of listening too much, and if I don't practice, what's the point, right? So that's what I thought of sharing. Like, I cannot surrender right away because over the years I faced a lot of challenges in my life, and whatever happens is best for us. I have to think like that, and I have to see Swami in everything, which is I'm finding very, very difficult. Sai Ram, brother.
Sai Ram, sister. I think you are not alone. I think all of us are in more or less the same thing. But I think what happens is when we read things like this, because it helps us to remind ourselves. I think that's the part of reading, that's a part of studying, because otherwise throughout the day and throughout the week, we don't think about these things. We're just caught up in this world. So I think that's the reality. But I think just reminding ourselves at least once a week is a good thing.
Yes, brother Sai Ram. I want to say this came into my mind. I share with somebody else too. I was taking my daughter and I should have kept my mouth, but Swami was telling, like my conscience was saying not to say, but no, my attachment causes all this attachment and the desire, the circles I don't want to go through. And suddenly a person wearing a black t-shirt wrote in that guardian. So I knew it, but no, I didn't want to listen. I just went over it and started talking to my daughter and disturb her and disturb myself, because Swami is saying in this position, like saying, you are just the guardian of your children. You are not over anything. But I keep on talking and then listen. So these things comes to me most of the time. So, so I thought I would share.
Yeah, thank you very much, sister. Thank you.
Because like my friend just from another part of the world, and without any permission, I can't say, right? But she says she stalks Swami always with her because her mind is continuously meditating on Swami. So she can see Swami in a leaf also, that kind of person. So she told me, be quiet, silence your mind, you know, and I just all this Pritu time was going, Pritu Paksha, this. So I was thinking the best thing I can offer my parents is whatever the good thing they taught me, I should practice now on in my life, seeing good and not to talk about anybody behind the back or anything. I'm trying, brother, but it's like a snake and ladder. I fail all the time. I go to, boom, I come back. Every day is failing. I don't know. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, all of you. I quietly listen. Thank you so much. Auntie too. Thank you.
Saira, so thank you.
Especially this week is the Thanksgiving week. That's why you know, we all should really thank for the opportunity Swami has given a wonderful two facilitators, you know, that is really, really a blessing from Swami. Otherwise, we wouldn't be having this great opportunity. Bhagavad Gita is itself a gem, and the Swami has given two gems for us to learn, you know, his representatives. He has you know, given us blessed with his blessings, and so you know, we all are very grateful, you know, for having this opportunity. Thank you, loving Saira. You know, that's a really, really great blessings for us, you know, in this year to learn the Bhagavad Gita from the, you know, the Swami's two representatives.
Anandi, thank you very much, but I don't deserve that kind of.
But we feel like that, you know, that's why the.
Maybe,
That's true.
I'm a tool in the hands
the
of
right
me.
thing.
See, actually, the people are able to see Swami in others. That's all I can say. But so.
Yes, Sairam, we are very grateful and we are very thankful to Swami for sending you both for this study circle, and we are gaining so much knowledge from you both. And Mani Auntie, I listened to your satsangs, your experiences, and it was so great, so nice, and so blissful. We can't forget that. Yeah, I always listen to that your satsangs, your experiences that you gave to Bushi, the Radio Sai.
Oh, sorry.
You took us to the 1940s, and it was so blissful. Yeah. Thank you so much, Auntie.
Thank you, Sister Yasho. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Sai Ram.
So long as we are the instruments of Swami, he is speaking through us, that's all. He gives us ideas.
And we are so blessed to listen to all this.
Okay, thank you.
Obviously, we have two great facilitators, Brother Arunu and Mani Auntie. Brother, before concluding this study circle, can you say about our worship, Veda worship, and today's talk, please?
It's okay. And so, yeah, so we 9 to 9:30 we have the Dashara celebration. So there are talks, Vedic chants, and Swami's discourse excerpts are played every day for half an hour, 9 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. So I think the link is available. People can listen.
Today, Brother Aruna speak. Okay,
I'm
Aruna's talk
speaking
is
for.
from 9 to 9:30. Please join
It's
everyone.
about 10 minutes I'm speaking. You couldn't find anyone else.
Okay.
So, Brother Aruna, he didn't tell the important part to us. You know,
I think every day there's someone speaking. I'm sure everyone has a good message.
Okay.
It's all what Swami.
Swadhyaya date, have you fixed already?
Next Saturday, Auntie. Next Saturday.
Oh, next Saturday, brother? Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Okay, so I think we will close for today.
Yeah.
I think it was a nice discussion of surrender.
And I wanted to read that second chapter when Arjuna surrenders himself. Yashreyasan nishchitam bruhitan me shishyasteham shadimam tvam prapannam. That word prapannam came, no? I
Yes.
want to read that. I am your shishya and you, Shadi, you shasanam, you do this, tell me what I should do, then I will do that. Prapannam, that's what he's saying.
Yeah, Swami.
Sairam,
Thank you.
Sairam.
Like it's because Swami refers to the verses in the Bhagavad Gita, so it's always nice to read.
Yeah.
Because Swami sometimes makes us go and do our own research and study.
Yeah, research, and then that's
Because,
correct.
yeah, so that's how Swami makes us to be.
Yeah.
So though Swami gives us the essence, Swami wants us to study those shlokas and the words and the concepts.
Yeah,
Swami.
Shishyaste Shadimam Prapannam. That is a beautiful way of surrendering ourselves to Swami.
So once he is surrendered, it's all him who speaks us. I think all this thanking business comes only when we think we are the body and we are the ones who are doing. I don't think every people realize it's every study cycle. I also learned so much from the questions, because sometimes when some people are very good in asking questions, and when the questions come, then things become more clear. So I, just the way you all may think that you are benefiting, I benefit
We are
immensely.
also benefiting from it.
Immense benefit. That's all I can say. Thank you very much for all of you taking part, coming week after week, and spending time studying Swami's. It's without a good company, study is useless.
Yeah.
Because it's only one hand cannot clap. Both hands are needed. So everyone is needed for this to be so effective and wonderful. We'll thank Swami on this weekend, and we'll close for today. Sai Ram.
We are really blessed with you guys, like, that this opportunity to studying Bhagavad Gita. And if you read this one, we are not going to gain anything, but like a great study circle, all of them, all of us, any whoever involved is asking questions and giving clear and more, so we understand what it is. So thank you very much, all of you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you for everything, Brother Arno and Auntie Mani. We are so blessed. We thank Swami for sending you both to have the study circle with us. Thanks so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
See, after all, we have received whatever we are sharing from Swami. That only way we can repay the debt to Swami is to discuss and share. And that's all I can say. Sai Ram. We'll close with Samasta.
Yes, and Swami has chosen us to be with you all. He has chosen us to be with you all, to listen to everything. Thank you, Saira. Thank you.
Om Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Sai Ram, everyone.
Sai Ram, thank you.
Thank you, Sai Ram, Sai Ram.